John Proxy. I'm having a... welcome to the Proximity, by the way. I'm having a Disco Elysium adventure. I've got a couple of things I need to do really quickly. There's my car. I'm assuming Ruby has my gun. But we need to pick on the missing persons case. And we need to give the dude his news about the empty thingy. You what? The cryptozoologist and his empty trap. There you go. Words. And then we'll look at that. Okay, I'm glad there's still, like, that guy here, but... we'll come back to this. I should have made another cup of tea, but I just wanted to record again immediately. Ooh, who's that?
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie. I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, man. What was that? Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. She hands you a thin ribbon held together by a silver bird skull. It's a tie. Mexican origin. The pin is antique, quite special. This little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this, but or when you get the time, it's probably a cryptid. But the phasmid, of course, is more important. You never told me you've seen the phasmid. Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings. Ramblings? Nonsense! Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard. Darling, I didn't even get the size of it right. You're a child, my dear. Really, it's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on, tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field. Reflexively, the lieutenant readies his familiar notebook. Well, it was summer, she starts. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach with a tall strand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. And all of a sudden... Wait. Where was this and how old were you? Ah, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there. Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near. CA 20 kilometres from here. What happened? The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. His body unfolded like some antique toy. Never seen anything like it. I didn't know this could happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt like a stalk of reed, but it moved. Swaying. Towering above me. She looks at you. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, left, onto the reeds. Do you follow it? I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me. Where did you go? Don't go. Then what? I ran back home to my grandmother, asked her if the reeds could walk, and told her. They were looking at me. She chuckles. Of course. She just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years it was a story I told at parties, when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. She brushes her hair back. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel. We were on a date, can you imagine? He tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of an Enchilidine phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds she told me, it hissed. That's how they met. This is beyond significant for them. It did, yes, like the reeds in a gust of wind. The way it moved, the colour, and how some of its limbs were white like marble. He breathed excitedly. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in the profession. He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You were on a date? Ah, first, yes. The old woman looks at her husband tenderly. Glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. Thought she can't express to him. Interesting. Its limbs were white? Not all of them, he answered for her. There are some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends. How big was it? It's hard to say how big things were when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was. That's probably not the case. Kim, what did you think of this? I thought it was a wonderful story, Mum. Closes his notes and gives her a simple smile. Maybe you imagined it, Lena. How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect. She couldn't have made it up. Or imagined it. That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me... She lowers her voice, imitating a boy. You're trying to tell us you saw the Interlidean phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. He smiles. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it. Thank you for sharing this with me. You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just... She sighs. Such an impossibly sunshiny day, so warm. And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere. Ah, that was the thing. That's all I'd like to know for now, ma'am.
Haha, nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He gives you a gruff pat on the shoulder. Tries to play it cool and remain professional, but inside the man is itching for some news on those traps. So I checked all the traps. Good. Okay. He breaks his calm. And... one of them was empty. Completely empty. The cryptozoologist's eyes go wide. Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid. No locusts, but no phasmid either. That's not ideal, but... He rubs his chin. The old woman's face lights up. It just means the Interlidean phasmid is even more clever than we thought. He's engaging a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them. Of course. The detective whispers to himself. More clever. You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly. Thank you, suggestion. Yes, the phasmidoa picked off the locusts, then escaped. This is good news. Though we have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure. His companion sighs. Another trip to the reeds. Are you sure you've exhausted all the alternative explanations? The cryptozoologist's face flushes with indignation. Of course we have. Wait, Morel. The old woman raises a hand. He may have a point. We have obligations to rule out other hypotheses. His face relaxes. You're right, dear. It's a fair point. But what other explanation could there be? He turns to you. Pardon me. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now. Brought great news to my gratitude and my gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Revachol is yours. Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft? I didn't mean to insult morale. Cunoesse a hooligan. Thank you, it's an honour. He says with a straight face, then turns to you. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing. Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken, most likely the hands of a young person, and small enough to fit inside the trap too. You should ask the red-headed boy. I think the little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the locusts. Little hooligan? What would a child want with bugs? A shadow of worry passes over the woman's face. Oh, my dear Morel, you've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects, almost as much as they love to torment old folks. I'll talk to the little gremlin and see if anything comes up. Delinquent's my favourite. Doesn't sound like it's really his favourite. Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close. The man turns to his companions. Well, I see you've got this all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me. After this is your last chance to talk to Gary. Really, Gary? The woman's voice is a little shaky suddenly. We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but... Lena, I'm sorry. You're not getting anywhere. It's some kids. I know little mutants around here leave everything out in the open, and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs. He looks at his tea. Well, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is gone, I've got to run. No need to apologise, Gary. You've been more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of Suzerainty today. We're going to follow this through. Keeps the language unemotional, but it's there. Disappointment. I'll get going. Where's Gary? You Gary? You're not Gary, are you? Who are you?
Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion. I mean, officers.
Still a prick. Inland Empire and Volition. Beautiful. Okay, I don't know why Doom Spiral is, but... Inside you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and a soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number? Yes, the armour was produced by... She looks at her notes. Fair weather in the facilities of Baton Court, Solar Chef in 42. It was part of the special order for Corps de Pharma... a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Orange's pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. She browses the pages. So, it seems that the armour went to Seminine, and that's where the paper trail ends. Though, even the firm has proven difficult to track, Corps de... is it Corps or Corps? De Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armour was issued. You know what it's called now? The most recent registered firm that the ICP, that's the Insane Clown Posse, has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contract called Krenel, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might have the same contractor. Suit of armour like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask them whom this suit was fitted. Suit of armour like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must have been a record of the person to whom it was issued. Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant with share private sector records. I could try and talk them into it. Yes, please do try. It was imperative that we learn whose armour this was. Sure, call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then. I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk. One moment. You can hear her shuffling through some papers. Can you please describe the body, age, sex, and cause of death? An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170-175 cm, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk, and hit his head against a metal bench. You suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him and traces of vomit on his shirt. Any signs of violence? Nope, seems like it was an accident. No field autopsy necessary, she repeats. You can hear her quickly typing in the background. What about his belongings? Did you examine his coat? He's wearing boots, trousers, an old library jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets. The information on the public card. It belongs to Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to somebody named Billy Magine. Good, you have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else? We're taking the case. I've assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can help do for you? Connect me to Jamrock Public Library. I'm afraid they're closed. It says there that the library is open from 10 AM to 6 PM. Fair enough. Try again during business hours. I'm done with the radio for now, but 57 over and out. Cleaning out the rooms. Oh my word, that's amazing. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away for you to slowly open up a box at a time so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it. Only the flowers on the windowsill. Only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows. Leave only the still lives, the blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did, she'll be coming soon. That is all. My suggestion, Inland Empire, and rhetoric has all been improved. Wake up in a new life by the seaside. Cool. See, some of these might be good after I've leveled them up. So this gives me a bunch of extra XP, but it actually hurts me everywhere else. So it might be wise for me to forget it. Though, I I kind of like it in his head. Yeah, that's good. And this. It might be worth to just get rid of that. That's great. Like, and a part of me just kind of wants to read all these. Apart from the Vegetarian Nationhood. Like, I'd be doing it and then immediately getting rid of it. Well, I may as well do that last. Okay. Cuno.
Shit.
Yeah, you like art, Cuno? Fuck no! Art shit! Takes a step back. Write it in an imaginary notebook. Got it. Art shit. That's right, pig! Looks please. Shit! I want to buy some farm track pants. Cuno unzips his jacket again and pulls the pants out of the plastic wrapping. Here, pig! We're found now! Performance buddies! Cuno can already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. He looks at you with pride. Pig's in Cuno's debt now. Money debt. Ugh. Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debts. You wouldn't happen to know anything about any missing locusts? No! Cuno doesn't give a flying fuck about bugs. Who knows locusts are bugs? Oh my god, the little one screams distraught. I told you that shit is lame. Shut up, C. They're gonna take you to lame prison. She sounds like she's gonna cry out of disappointment at Cuno's newfound lameness. Now hold on. What's this about? Okay. Deny everything, Cuno. You need to lawyer up. Cuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present. Lame. Ring some bells. Could this be connected to Night City, aka City of the Rage? Cuno, is this about Rage City? Oh god, Cuno, no. The little one behind the fence takes her hat off. It's gonna happen now. They're gonna make you lame. Stop it, see? Nobody's gonna make anyone lame. Cuno's got this under the control. There's definitely something going on here. You should check out Cuno's shack, the one with the pig's head. Okay, I'm off. Kuno doesn't fucking care. Okay, let's... So that is... That's 2 pluses. It's legitimately better. Also... Yeah, full tracksuit cop! There's probably some shoes I should probably put. I had these... Okay. Okay, cool. I look stupid as all hell, but... Well, since I'm here... Why's that got a thing on? I feel like I'm forgetting something. It's crawling with locusts in here. All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising, accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants. Well, Detective, it appears you've solved the case. The lieutenant looks around, writes something in his notebook and turns to you. Of the locusts, for the missing locust case, which is a subcase of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well. Yes, precisely what I was thinking. Yes, he nods. I feel we're nearing a real breakthrough. You think the Insular Phasmid is nearby? If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. Phasmid did not take the bait from the traps, it was Cuno. Phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know? Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The Phasmid is impairing your judgment. I know, but it was fun. We should talk to Cuno about this, get him to stop. I'll let you handle Cuno's side of things. You're doing just fine. He does like fun, doesn't he? Okay, I do just quickly want to go up there. Oh, I know what that is. It's the door I never went in. Because I didn't want to do the job. Did I unlock the door? The boy turns to you. He doesn't care. I know you took the locusts from the traps the cryptozoologist set up. Yeah? He says slowly, meeting your gaze with sullen defiance. Cuno took the bugs. So what? It wasn't the Phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you. You say you don't give a fuck about bugs, then you build a whole bug town. It's not Bug Town, it's City of Locusts, he says, enunciating every syllable, like I just didn't do then. Locusts are just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends. Stop, she wails from behind the fence, then buries her face in her hands. Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the Night City he's mentioned when you asked him where he's been. So that, in there, pointed the shack, is Night City? Yeah, Locust City, City of Rage, City of Lights. There's a bug tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. What are you, some kind of artist now? Maybe I am, he says, looking at you straight in the eye. Did he just say I? Cuno usually calls Cuno Cuno. Making art is a worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself. Oh my god, Cuno. He's gonna make you totally lame, like in 3 seconds. Don't let him, Cuno. Yo, fuck you, see? Cuno can be what Cuno wants to be. Cuno's his own man. Cuno's free. He tears at the bottoms of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way. Cuno made himself into Cuno. Cuno can make himself into anything. Cuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Cuno can give himself can make himself into a fascist. Cuno doesn't give a shit. I know that's not what that says. Don't make yourself into a pig, Cuno. You'll have to take me away. A leaden silence fills the yard. In it, you hear the snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone is closing a window. So that's what this is about. Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promised I won't do anything. Don't believe you. She disappears entirely behind the fence. For once the boy is lost for words. He turned completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's trap alone. Do I care about the cryptozoologists? I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. The locusts are bait. I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. He turns towards the fence. C was right. The girl's face appears again above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno. I have to ask, what does the City of Locusts mean? Doesn't mean anything, it's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. He turns his face up to the heavens. Pig, he says finally, lowering his gaze to meet yours. You really shouldn't have fucked with Cuno City. Now it's all fucking lame. What's gonna happen to the locusts? Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die. Okay, now that that's settled, I better be off. The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? He asks you before you leave. With the traps? The Insulodyne Phasmid. Huh, mutters to himself. He recognises the name. Wait, you know what the Insulodyne Phasmid is? Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit, he says angrily. The fuck out of here, Kuno's tired of this shit. As you leave, you notice his usual rooster-like swaying posture has changed. Slowed down, like clockwork unwinding. There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
You there,
don't
behind the
wanna fuck
fence.
with me? I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this. You
can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. What is this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
Get the fuck out of here, face! You got something? Talk to me!
I'll die, but murder was the case they gave me.
She's almost vanished behind the fence. Only the top of her hat remains.
I'll die, but...
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Right. What do I need to do? Well, we can check the book to remind ourselves. Oh, there's supposed to be like a tree or something. Where the hell's that tree? Oh, you know what? There is something I can do. I must have got distracted or something. Or just didn't, straight up didn't see it. Hang on, where is it on the map then? Maybe it's higher up? Above, top flaps in the wind, forgotten hammers and nails rust. Okay, wait, how do I get to the pier then if I've not been on the pier?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Pissed fascist and fuck the world send their best? Don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners. The amusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness. Aww. They seem to hold you in high esteem. They'll never be skulls, but, she softens, but their hearts are in the right place. Skulls are cool. Can I be a skull? Fat chance, but you can still do your part to revitalise the neighbourhood. That's a terrible accent, John. Okay then, how's that? He throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though straining to hear something in the distance. Have you ever noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air. Yeah, I was on it for a brief second, then it went again. Somewhere in Jamrock, but in Martinez. Gunshots, no sirens. The people here languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a real sepulchre. Paint it red. Bring the raucous. You bring the sirens. She's making a valiant effort to come off as a nihilist, but she's really just an angry little commie. No wonder she was talking about the streets flowing red. That's what happened during the revolution. So tell me, what's it like being a skull and a communist? She sighs. You got me, pig shit. I don't make for a very good skull. I like animals too much. Simians and pigs. She shrugs. But I'm gonna write some damn good graffiti on the wall. Her voice sounds different when she speaks this candidly. Hold her somehow. Catch you later, Cindy. So there's at least one communist in the world that isn't corrupt then. That's nice. But I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Oh, it's just that. That island. Where is this? I'll do this every single bloody time. Because it could be those steps. It says the boardwalk. Is this not the boardwalk? But I'm not seeing anywhere I can actually click on. This is all the boardwalk then, isn't it?
Trying to sneak up on me again?
I put a clap there. Okay. I want the balcony, don't I? Yeah, I know that those things I definitely can do. I just wanted to not come back at 8. But it looks like I don't really have much choice in this matter. Never mind then. So I wasted a little bit of time. I guess I have no choice but to go back to the island. And then have to run all the way back at 10. I was worried that whatever that happens in there, it's just going to take a while, and I'm going to forget to do the thing at 10 o'clock. That's why I'm sort of looking for things to do before I do that. Let's go speak to Everard. We're going to lie to him. Maybe a sea monster did this to the place. What?
Officer, care to play a game with a lonely old man?
The jolliness is gone.
Actually, never mind. It wouldn't be the same.
Why would I want to convince him to get rid of his sandwich? I did. Right, this is how we're going to do it. I admire your handiwork, chef. But a few things I'd do differently. Like what, officer? His eyes rest on the sandwich. This is as good as they come in Revachol, I assure you. An array of delicious recipes flashes through your mind. Salads, salmons, sandwiches, bingo. Schools for an engineering angle, structural rigidity, exposed rafters, lattice works, that type of approach. Had you put a large slice of Alduvian cheese crosswire from the ham, it would minimise the component loss via crumbling. Mon Dieu, that is an excellent idea, he exclaims. That would virtually negate the component loss. Beautiful, now bring it home with paprika. I'll do you one better. My electro-chemistry. The air pocket between the cheese and the ham could house pre-roasted paprika. Ce sera délicieux. That was said completely wrong. He shouts excitedly, "Can you make that sandwich, officer?" No. No one can. Sure, but I'm going to need yours as a prototype first. I hope you're not just tricking an old man out of the little he has left, he says solemnly as he hands you the sandwich. I win? Initial developments takes time, of course, but in 6 to 9 months you will eat the sandwich of the gods. Or god of sandwiches, maybe, he tries to pitch in. But in the meanwhile, what can I do for you here and now, officer? Where's René? The prick is gone, he replies, trying to smile. I can barely believe it, but he's really gone. He's trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face. Gone where? Gaston sighs and mumbles, more to himself than to you. Hell, most likely. He was an absolute cunt. How did he die exactly? His angry little heart finally gave out, he sighs. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he was. You feel like he has to prove. He can still pull his weight, doesn't need handouts. Guess he was about to head home, because when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes, not the cockatoo uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Gaston smiles with a sad smile. And the joke's on him, because he's going to be buried without it. You think our conversation about his job pushed him to go out there? No, he replies quickly. Rene was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I would say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable. He has his doubts, but right now, it's missing a W, he wants to move on and not thinking about it. Is he really that bad? I repeat, an absolute cunt. He turns to look at the crater. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jeannie and me. He pauses. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and his voice trembles. And she never lost sight of it. And I thought it was the most beautiful being in the world could love him, and there must be something worth holding on to. Do you love him? We hated each other our entire lives, so much in fact that... Falls silent and looks at you, eyes filling up with tears. Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. But I did. He wipes his eyes with a sleeve. You know what his last words to me were? Something mean? In Guillaume's time, you would have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. The old man gathers himself and wipes his eyes again. He lived as a cunt and he died as a cunt. To leave it at that. Yeah, something to remember your friends by. Give them the photograph of Rene and the girl. Let me see. Gaston takes the photo, hands trembling. This was 60 years ago. I can't believe... I'm so glad I didn't sell anything in this game, because like little tiny things are really important. We all went to that parade. Young Rene looked so happy, and Johnny, eyes blurry with tears. He has to stop. Thank you, officer. He dries his eyes. Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me. That was nice, Lieutenant smiles. Small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know Rene had the photo. I offer my sincere condolences. Conclude. Yes, Lieutenant nods. We are both very sorry for your loss. It is what it is, part of life really, he mumbles, when he last listening to you. But to know somebody for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. He slowly shakes his head, then remembers your presence. But you must need something. The Union? Oh, this is really sad. This game's really sad. And obviously I can't do the quests like about talking to him because he's dead. Oh, I can talk to the cryptozoologist as well. What was I going to do? I was about to do something then, wasn't I? Then I got distracted by an old man. Oh, well, I was going to talk to the dude face. This episode's really... I don't even know if I've done anything in the episode. I'll play for like 5 minutes more, I think. Did faff for a bit.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with the kid, Cuno. He promised to stop stealing the locusts. The cryptozoologist pursed his lips. So it was just a child. He looks crestfallen. Thank you for telling us, sweetie. She turns to smile gently up at her husband. This is good news, right? Means we can try again. Jack's chipper, but something's changed in her tone, a hidden worry. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Cuno kid or the missing locusts, it's something else. Yes, you're right. We need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can... The aging cryptozoologist breaks into a hideous coughing fit. He has a 38-degree fever. Resilience is given away. He looks at him with tender concern. Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home. You're right. He breathes carefully, not to start coughing again. You can come back next season when it's warmer. That's just something people tell themselves when they fail. it might actually be worth refusing the quest. Man, I'm really thinking this is costing me time on my main investigation. Of course, sweetie, you've helped us enough already. Everyone would understand if you... You know what? No, I can accept. Damn it, maybe I can restock the chap for you. You can? The lieutenant makes a show of suppressing a sigh. Fine, it's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this, he wants to see this tale through as much as you. Otherwise, he would have stopped this already. But he can not let it drag out after this. Really, it's too much, officer. He starts coughing again. I've got to find the Incident Phasmid. What morale means is we're grateful for your help. She nods to her husband. With a fresh batch of locusts, we should slide right down the funnel. Thank you again. We'll definitely mention this. Should this lead to a discovery? I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but... Wow, co-discovery? You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tinkle the pleasure centre. Get going.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to see you again.
Is this a bird cryptid? No, her eyes narrow mysteriously. It's the cryptid. Wow. The cryptid. Oh, yes. The small silvery skull shines between your fingers. It's a beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird? The 8th-eye Teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said, until it was sighted by renowned Gottwaldern explorer and naturalist Ure Pattenkalk in 21. This renown seems a bit dubious. Your old catalogue comes up completely empty, but of course, you are not all-knowing. I need to hear about this sighting. It happened on a botanical expedition in the vast and unexplored Uamrao Canyon in the southeast Lamara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm. And Uamrao is the world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Uruk Desert, an ancient riverbed completely dried up. What happened? Alone in the basement, blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where the man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. By the time Yui got there, the Teratorn had taken off already. The carcass was picked clean. This happened many times. Followed it? Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached the great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand, found the bird sleeping with its head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on its perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. The man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen in place with a rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird. Why? The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Yui spent 3 days trying to, till the bird flew away. Hold on, how did he survive to tell the story? The 8-eyed Teratorn was indifferent to him. As long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps, it even let him feed on some of the carcasses up there, and 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind. An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird? Fuck yes! Absolutely, sweetie. She smiles. Glad you agree. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Uamrao is vast and mysterious and holds many secrets. This one I liked. The lieutenant puts down his notes. Not only does it have 8 eyes and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it does mind control. He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it. So that was the last anyone saw of it? Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of the 8-eyed bird skulls in Illamara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that are hard to pass off as a coincidence. Imperial eagle too had 8 eyes. Not really, just their stylization. The way they drew its eyes, it's not a zoological drawing. This one's very famous, everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, this man's into cryptids. She winks. What else do you want to know? We'll have to do that later, but I'm going to let you go because I spent a little bit extra time talking. But yeah, I've been John Fox. It still isn't 10 PM. But I've been having a Disco Elysium adventure.